What's up, YouTube? My name is Brand Reeds, and today I'll be reading some Am I the Antagonist? With that being said, let's get right into it. Our first story is by Intelligent North 212. Am I the antagonist for not wanting to share my car with my sister? When I, female 18, was 16 but didn't have my driver's license yet, my parents told me I had to buy my own car or I would be unable to drive myself anywhere. I didn't mind as I had been saving and had a job to help me pay for this. I found a car I absolutely love. It's a bit old but in good condition, and I paid $8,000 for it. I have driven my car for almost 2 years and I love the car. I didn't go to college this year because of safety concerns, so I am doing college online at home. I figured I would continue to drive my car so I could go to work or anything else I needed to do. My sister, 16 female, got her license late this summer. My parents told me she would be renting my car so that she could drive herself to school. I asked why she couldn't buy her own car like I had to, but my parents never explained it to me. My sister takes the car every weekday and most Saturdays and Sundays as well. She pays for gas, but does not pay me to use my car. She now has free, unrestricted access to my car whenever she wants it, and I am unable to drive myself to work or the store, so I have to get someone to pick me up or walk. I don't think this is fair since I paid for the car with my own money from working, and I am also worried because my sister does not have a good track record for driving. My parents say I'm the antagonist and also not a good sibling when I vocally express that I want to be able to use my car. Am I the antagonist? In my opinion, I don't think you're the antagonist. Your parents made you buy your own car, but when it's your little sister, she doesn't have to buy her own car. That's pretty unfair. Our next story is by Coworker Throwaway 999. Am I the antagonist for telling my husband he is either married to me or his coworker? My 37 female husband, 40 male, has been working at his company for 10 years as a maintenance supervisor. About a year ago, they hired Tabitha to work in their accounting department. Since the day she first started working there, she has had an infatuation with my husband that is becoming unprofessional and inappropriate. This started when the heat went out in her office. My husband's job as a supervisor is to assign tasks to his employees. However, she is never satisfied with the work they do, even though he says that they do great work, so she demands that he works on her office. She constantly calls him on his work phone for mundane things. Carpet is loose in the corner, loose screw on her coat hook, and he goes to fix them without issue. Last year when we went to the company Christmas party, pre-plague times, she was very flirty with him, constantly grabbed his hand. When he introduced us, she just grinned at my husband and said, "Look, there's Peter," and grabbed his hand and walked away. When we sat at the table, she damn near pushed me out of my seat to sit next to him, and my husband told her to get up, that it was my seat. She walked off in a huff, and when she saw me in the bathroom, she shoved past me. I told my husband what happened, and he said it was fine, that she was harmless. I told him she was not fine, and that she clearly had feelings for him, and she was acting like a jealous girlfriend. The past few weeks, this has ramped up to an astonishing level of inappropriate. She recently moved into a new house, and my husband and some of the other guys from work helped her move and put things together. He gave her his personal cell phone number, and she has been calling and texting nonstop about things she needs help with. Last night at 2 a.m., she called about her heat not working right. My husband said he will go over and look at it after work. I broke down. I told him he was not going and that she could call a technician like everyone else and that he was not her personal maintenance man. I told him very clearly that she has feelings for him and he is so dense he can't see it. I told him that while it is nice to help on occasion, she calls him all the time asking for help with things she can do on her own. Move boxes or furniture, or pay to have a repair person come and fix. I told him that once he gave out his personal phone number that he crossed the line and I am not comfortable with it. He said that this will most likely be an easy fix and it won't take long, so I cried and told him that he can either be married to me or be married to her, but I wasn't going to be the third wheel in my own marriage. He says he does not have feelings for her and that I am overreacting to him just wanting to help a friend. I feel otherwise. Am I the antagonist? In my opinion, I don't think you're the antagonist at all. That's definitely very sus on both of their parts, and I would definitely get that checked out. I wouldn't feel bad about calling him out on it at all. Our next one is by Throwaway. Am I the antagonist for giving my son's girlfriend a list of requirements if they're going to receive financial support from me after I was given a list of requirements to see their baby? I'm a female, 49, and I have a son, 21 male, and his girlfriend, 21 female. His girlfriend is pregnant, and because they are in a rough patch, both of them have also dropped out of school. I've been helping them out with money. For the most part, I like his girlfriend well enough, but she has been a bit overbearing during this pregnancy, not that I really blame her. Today they came over and his girlfriend decided to give a list of do's and don'ts that my husband and I, if we wanted to have contact with their child. The list was mostly reasonable: have vaccines, don't swear around the baby, handle baby with care, don't show up unannounced, no sexism/racism or any sort of ism around the kid, etc. Some of them were a bit overbearing. When the baby is older, no tickling or sweets, no cartoons, no baby talk, etc. I took issues with this for two reasons. One, it seems insulting and condescending. Some of the items on the list are things we would never ever do, like the racism and sexism one struck me as really odd. We're also not anti-vaxxers. It feels like she was pretty much assuming the worst of us. Example, of course we wouldn't swear like a sailor around a child. And we always call before we visit. They show up unannounced more than us. 2. Some of the items on the list are extreme. I understand that these are her rules and how she plans to raise the baby, but the idea that I would lose access to my grandchild because I baked cookies with them is extreme, and I don't want to walk on eggshells or go through the hurt of losing my grandchild, especially since I feel like it's the grandparent's job to spoil the child, within reason of course. To clarify, I understand how these requirements could be necessary. If we weren't suited to be around children, I would understand. So in response to this, I said fine, but now here's a list of requirements to receive financial support. In the past, we've always trusted them in giving them a monthly allowance, as long as we didn't think they were deceiving us or blowing money or asking for even more than we let them do what they will with the money. So I added the stipulations like wanting to see their budget to ensure that they didn't 1. Eat out, 2. Buy unnecessary clothing, 3. Didn't go to hair salons instead of barbers, 4. Had to spend a certain amount on the baby, 5. Didn't buy hobby related stuff, etc. And finally, financial support would be lost if we were to be denied access to the baby. There were more stipulations, but I'm sure you get the point. I made this list and gave it to the both of them in exchange for the list of the baby requirements. Both my son and his girlfriend were upset with this. I said that previously I had trusted them, but since you didn't trust us, we wouldn't trust them. I also told them how disrespectful I thought they were for giving me a list when they rely on my husband and I for support. His girlfriend said I wouldn't be able to see the baby. I told them they could leave. My husband and I are both conflicted over this, and I'm wondering if I'm the antagonist. And after the post, they had an edit. To all of you who are sending me messages hoping I die and saying you're happy I'll never see my grandchild, or calling my daughter-in-law an S-word for having an accidental pregnancy, why don't you say these things in the comments instead of hiding in my inbox? Edit 2, I would like to add a mini update. It looks like the very top reply is not the antagonist, but there is a great deal of everyone sucks here or you're the antagonist. I can acknowledge that a discussion would have been a better approach. However, at the time I felt like I had just been slapped in the face, which is why I reacted the way I did. I have had some time to reflect, but right now I am more upset that in response to conflict, my daughter-in-law and son both reacted by saying I will never see their child. I can possibly forgive them for the list as being overly cautious parents, but I'm not going to tolerate them threatening no contact over any conflict or using it as a control method. It will be too hurtful for myself. Some of you have accused my list of being petty, which maybe it was, but truly I was being defensive more than anything. I will not leave myself open to emotional manipulation, and I plan on making that very clear to my daughter-in-law. I do plan on talking to my son and daughter-in-law and going from there. I'm just going to wait though, as I want to be in a clear frame of mind, and right now I am still very hurt and angry at them. Hopefully in a day or two, we will be in a position where we can all apologize to each other and move on. Thank you for the advice. So yeah, in my opinion, I wouldn't necessarily say you're the antagonist, but you didn't handle it the best. And I think that there's a conversation to be had with you all. And I think it could have all been handled a better way. So I think it's a little bit of everyone sucks here. And last but not least, we have our final one by Murky Recognition 91. Am I the antagonist for forcing my wife to disclose her disability status? My wife was diagnosed with autism as a young girl, and ever since she was a teen has been vehement that it was a misdiagnosis. I don't know if this is insensitive to say, but she doesn't have mannerisms or behaviors that I might see in people I know to have autism. Whether she has it or not, it's not my place to be backseat doctor. So if she believes she doesn't have autism, I have her back. Something to note is my wife is like this because she believes with autism comes a social stigma which she wants to avoid. I'm the only one working at the moment and we have shared finances. My wife decided in January she's going back to school to finish her bachelor's, so around this time she's applying for loans and grants and such. Something I found out is that students with disabilities get special grants to the tune of roughly 80% her tuition costs here. This isn't a loan, it doesn't need to be paid back. You tick a box in your application that you note you have a permanent disability, you meet with someone before classes start, they verify forms and etc. Then you're given thousands of dollars for free. Our original plan was for me to fund her tuition if loans cannot cover it all, and it looks like our joint finances, from my income, we're going to cover 50% of her tuition. I am urging my wife to identify herself as having a permanent disability to take the burden off of our family's finances, plus it will work for her in the end since she'll need less loans. But she refuses, saying she doesn't want to acknowledge her diagnosis and would rather go to school the normal way. Am I the antagonist if I then withdraw my assistance and let her resolve it on her own? There is literally no downside to taking a disability grant. She has paperwork from her high school that they need to just see and she's approved. It's that simple. 15 minutes of her time and one click of a mouse. She is too prideful to do it, but I want to force her hand by withdrawing financial support for her schooling. Too long didn't read, wife has autism, she can have most of her tuition free by just acknowledging she has autism. She refuses, so I won't pay for her school. Am I the antagonist? In my opinion, I don't think you're the antagonist at all. College is expensive, especially tuition. I would know, I'm a college student myself. And I mean, if you can have any type of money to pay that off that you don't need to pay back, go for it 100%. If she wants to miss out on free money just because she's prideful about it, that can be on her. I don't think you need to suffer for that. So, not at all. You're not the antagonist. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Also make sure to hit that bell button so you can get notifications for the next video. This is my first video ever, so if you all have any suggestions and or subreddits you'd like me to read, let me know because all feedback and suggestions are welcome. With that being said, I hope you all have a good day. See you guys next time.